Live from Hollywood, California, it's the Nighttime Show. I'm Mike Black, the voice of the Nighttime Show. With us, as always, our head writer, Matt Walker. Our very special guest today, star of Jurassic World, Harley Keener in Iron Man 3 and Avengers Endgame, and the Insidious films, Ty Simpkins. And now, a man we all love, 3,000... because that's his caloric intake per minute, Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Yes, and those are facts. We're in Hollywood today. Mike Black is here. Mike,
Yay.
how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Out there buying toys today? Were you buying any toys?
Yes. I was going to say no, but I forgot.
Nope, I forgot I bought a toy.
I bought things online.
What did you buy today?
I pre-ordered the next wave of Avengers Endgame Marvel Legends.
I saw
that just
those.
came out today.
I saw those come out today. I was looking at pictures of them.
Yeah.
Most of them are very, very cool.
They're very cool. They're spoilery, so if you're listening, watch out.
No, I'm a huge
Just
Marvel.
say it. By the time this comes out, they've had a month to see the movie.
Well, they're doing Smart Hulk. They're doing
Fat Thor?
Rescue. Not Fat Thor yet.
Isn't that the one everybody wants? Fat Thor?
Everyone wants
a Fat Thor.
Newest suit. Iron
When I
Man.
saw
Although,
Fat
wait,
Thor,
I'm sorry.
when I saw Fat Thor on screen, I was like, finally, we fat
for
guys
me.
can cosplay. Finally.
But I think we have to apologize to
Yes.
the writers of Jezebel, who were very upset about that Fat Thor and fat jokes of the movie and saying that it ruined the whole experience for them.
why
fat sensitive.
Wait,
They thought it was fat
sensitive
shaming.
people. They thought it was fat shaming.
They thought like there were fat
fat
jokes in the
shaming
movie?
that a god can gain weight.
Apparently
I don't
so.
see how that is fat shaming.
I don't know. I didn't see the movie, so what do I know?
Yeah,
Anyways, so you picked up
I
the
pre-ordered.
full.
I didn't
the
actually.
full
I don't
wave.
have them.
You got the Gwyneth
When they
Paltrow
come out-
Iron Man, basically.
Yes. When they come out, they'll send them to me immediately.
You know the one thing I have a problem with Marvel Legends is that one problem I have is every wave that they do. Do they always throw in one dumb fucking guy who you're like what the fuck is this?
I see what you're saying. A D-list character,
But it's like,
or a deep cut or
Diamond
something.
Face or something. And it's
Yeah.
like some guy you've never heard of that looks like shit.
That's how you
It's
build
like
an empire.
It's a weird
I'll
character
tell you
that no
something.
one
In
wants.
2006, you had no idea who Iron Man was.
I knew who Iron
you
Man was
didn't.
my whole life. I had an Iron Man toy when I was a kid.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did too. I had the one with the Secret Wars. I had Secret Wars Iron
Okay,
Man.
fair enough.
So fuck you, Mike Black.
I like that you're so used to Matt saying horrible things
Yeah,
to
I
you.
said Matt first.
You call me Matt
No, I'm
first.
sorry.
That's fine.
No, but I do. I think it's cool they do stuff like Living Laser. That was super weird and strange.
He's a deep cut. He's
is a deep cut.
Way down. He's not even like an E-list character. He's way lower.
But they
Was he in Endgame?
Yeah.
No. Well, he might have been. He is a living laser.
Sorry, Ty. We just went way off. Do you collect any toys?
I do not.
You do not collect
No.
any toys.
No.
Is there a toy of your character in Endgame?
Not an Endgame.
Iron Man?
I do have Lego Jurassic World stuff from.
Oh, that's cool.
So when
Oh,
I
that's
was younger, I guess I collected Lego Jurassic World stuff, but that's just because.
But it's okay to collect anything if they made you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
Right.
like
Fair
at Walter Koenig's house. He's got
Yeah.
every Chekhov toy ever made
Wow.
from Star Trek because he's Chekhov.
Right,
So it
right.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though, Ty. Like, if you're not collecting toys, do you collect anything?
Yeah.
Anything you collect? What do you
Yeah,
collect?
I collect baseball hats from every stadium that I go to.
That's
I
cool.
collect jerseys. So
That's
yeah.
good.
Who's
That's
your
a
favorite
nice
team?
collection.
For baseball, it's the Phillies.
Are you from Philadelphia?
I'm from South Jersey.
Okay.
Now, do you collect all the other crap, like when they have like free mini bats and free bobbleheads and that sort of stuff?
I mean, like if I get like a free giveaway, then I'll keep it. But I mean, like I also collect these like little mini ice cream helmets because they have them at like every
the little
stadium.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have those.
Did you get the one from the?
Do they come with ice cream?
They do.
You can see where my priorities lie. I don't care about sports at all, but they're giving away ice cream now at the sporting events.
I have one you might not have, which was the Major League Baseball Food Fest mini helmet.
I have one.
Okay, so you went.
I went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there opening night. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, so
Pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking all day about your career because pre you being here, we sat a pre-show. We sat around, kind of freaking out a little bit about how many things from a young age you have been in that are
Everything's hugely successful.
hugely successful.
You got the golden touch. They put you in, and it makes $1 billion, like just having you in the movie.
What like
We give you credit for everything.
yeah, no, we're giving you full credit on everything.
As you should.
Spielberg had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
The first big one. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, as most young actors have. You have a private practice. You have a CSI. Things like this. But
and again,
Insidious,
CSI, #1 show on television for a decade.
I don't have a CSI. Just
I
so
was
that we're on
in
the
one
same page.
episode. I don't remember it. Like, I remember little bits and pieces.
You were
but
very young though.
I was.
Yeah. Now Insidious.
How old were you when you did that?
How old was I when I
Yeah.
did that? I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I was very young though. I was
How
probably
old-
5
how
or
old are you
6.
now?
I'm 17. I'm almost 18.
Okay, so in 2010,
I was 9.
you were 9 years old
Yeah.
when you starred in
That makes sense.
Insidious.
Yes.
What? That's I think.
Oh wait, no. So then I was 8 when I filmed it because
Oh my God.
there's that year.
Now, I met you when you did. I believe I met you at Comic-Con around the time you did Insidious. That may have been when we met, or may have been.
I went to Comic-Con in 2011, so
Yeah, okay.
we probably
so it was
met there.
right after Insidious, but
Yeah.
before Insidious 2.
Yes.
Yes, and I
Because we
remember
filmed
being
that
like,
2012,
"What?"
2013. Yep.
That is no. What was that like for you, making a leap into being the star of a movie and working for a huge studio and all that kind of stuff? Like that's got to be. How did you audition for it? What was the audition like?
Well, so I had worked with Patrick in the past. Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
Who played my dad in that movie.
Yeah, he was in
Little
show called
Children.
Little Children. Yeah, which was very dark. That's very dark.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's for the best. It's very dark.
He was really good in it. It was a dark,
Yeah, no,
dark fucker.
It's a dark fucking movie.
But
yeah, it's
but
very
he's
good.
in all the Insidious movies, and he's such a cool
Is he in
series.
all of them?
I think so. Like the couple that aren't they that have all the supernatural.
I haven't seen any of the ones.
Oh, you're talking about the
Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Am I?
He's in all
Yeah,
the
that's
Conjuring movies.
Conjuring movies.
And the
But he
Insidious are
is-
not part of the Conjuring movies.
No,
No.
different universe.
Different universe.
Same company.
Same company.
Still very good. I love those movies.
Yeah, because
Similar to how the
Insidious-
X-Men and Spider-Man
Right, are
were separate
from
the other Marvels
But
until
okay.
Same actor though.
Yeah.
yes,
But just not the same character.
right.
Weird.
So he's not okay.
Yeah, they love Patrick.
Then
over
maybe
there.
he's not in all the Insidious movies.
No, I don't think he is. Apparently, I was in one of them in like a clip, and I had no idea. They didn't tell me, and then I got like DMs and like comments on my Instagram, like, "Did you know you're in Insidious 3?" And I was like, "What?"
But the question is, did you get a check? Who cares about the
That's
DMs?
I don't know. I don't know. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's the important part.
They should. They have
They
to.
probably did.
have
They
to
probably
pay.
did. I
Yeah,
probably
for
did.
Sure. For sure. Of course.
It would be crazy to think you were going to sneak that by an actor nowadays. We'll put him in.
Hell no.
Who's going to know?
Who's gonna know?
Yeah. They. I think that they have to do that these days. Like they can't just
yeah.
put
Oh,
someone
yeah.
in something.
No.
Yeah.
Like I.
Although it's one of those like it's just crazy enough to work sort of things too, where they
Yeah.
might just like, of
Well,
course we paid him.
Look at
Yeah,
Crispin
you know.
Glover with Back to the Future too. That's like back in the day. That they used a face cast of his face
Right, yeah.
to make another Crispin Glover because Crispin Glover turned down Back to the Future 2, and then Crispin
was too
Glover
busy being
sued the
crazy.
shit out of them and was like, "You can't have me in the movie. You can't have my face in the movie on someone else's face." And so then they had to
What's
pay him.
like
wrong
that-
with us copying your face and putting
Yeah.
it on someone
That's like
else?
that Kevin Spacey, Harvey Keitel commercial.
Oh
right?
God, that was a nightmare too. Where they shot an entire bunch of commercials with Harvey Keitel starring in them, and then they realized that what they wanted was Kevin Spacey to star in all the commercials, and they still had like a bunch more to go. So they shot a bunch with Kevin Spacey, and then they took Kevin Spacey's face and they face replaced Harvey Keitel's face with Kevin Spacey's face.
And now they're going back to replace Kevin Spacey with Harvey Keitel's
yeah,
face.
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
now they have to go
Boy,
the
did
other
we
way.
screw up.
Yeah, it was they put the money on
Back
the
the
wrong
wrong
horse.
horse.
That one. That is a mistake. But talk to us about Insidious. So how do you end up getting cast in this movie? What's that like as a young fella?
Okay, so I didn't really understand how like like movies really worked at the time.
Sure.
I mean, I was very little. I mean, like I'd been on sets and I understood how they were filmed and everything, but I didn't understand that it's possible to do practical effects. And so I knew that Patrick was going to be in it. And I actually had this little deck of cards made with me and Patrick on it from little children. So I would always carry around this lucky ace, as I called it, in my pocket. And so when I went in, I showed it to them because it had Patrick on there. And I was like, this is Patrick and me when I was younger. And so we got talking, and then they were talking about like how I felt about like scary things, because I guess they wanted to make sure I would be able to function on set or something like that. And so I thought it's going to be CGI. And so I was like, oh, they're not going to be there really. And they're like, yeah, they will. I was like, what are you talking about? That's like, the ghosts aren't real. Like,
Right.
No, we put out on central casting. Any
got a
ghosts in the
ghost.
area that aren't working, please.
Hilarious.
and so they thought I was very not afraid of things. And so when I got casted, I thought it was really cool. I was excited to work with Patrick again. I was excited to be in another movie. And then,
Oh no!
lo and behold, I come to set, and there's the first scene we film is the scene where I'm coming back from the further into the real world to like out of like the red door. And there's this scary fucking demon thing in there, and I start screaming and crying. And so that whole time on set, I was terrified of this thing. But as soon as they said cut and we'd break for lunch, I would eat lunch with him. I helped put on makeup one time for him, and it was so weird
But when you're in the moment,
But I'm in the moment. I was terrified. I was scared. It's just shit.
Well, yeah.
Like,
man.
I mean, like, even before, like, I was a little scared when I first saw him. I was shocked because he was in his makeup trailer and just, like, peered out of the fucking window. I was like, oh, what the hell is that?
Oh my god.
And,
Yeah, to have to see creatures and demons as a kid in real life.
Yeah.
That's gotta be fucking bizarro.
it was scary. And, you know, like when he said hi to me, I was like, hey, like, I was, like, a little, like, creeped out. I was like, stay 10 feet away from me. Like,
Right.
don't come close, but hi. and we get into this dark room full of smoke and mist, and it got too real. I was terrified. And I was just burying my head because Patrick was carrying me for that, and I was just burying my head in his shoulder. I didn't want to look at him.
That's how you do a good performance right there. Actually scare the hell out of
But
it.
like that's the thing. People thought I was a good
rolling.
actor in that movie, but I was not. I was just scared of shit. I wanted to get out.
That's method acting.
True.
You methoded the hell out of that shit.
That's amazing.
That reminds me of, there's a story, the girl who worked in Monster Squad with Shane Black, she said the guy who played Frankenstein's monster he's kind of like becomes a good guy in the film, and so he hangs out with the kids a lot. They were like, what was it like working with that actor? He's very method. She was like, I never met that actor. He was in character the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I would have lunch with Frankenstein every day, and I was like, how crazy is that?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's the same thing with Doug Jones. It's
Yep.
like people that work with Doug, they always feel like
Anson Mount was on the show, and he talked about how he's like, oh, we had like an opening cast party, and he was hanging out with Doug Jones. He's like, then I didn't see him again for 4 months. I just saw Saru. And then like he's like, one day I got off early, or Doug got off early, so he's out of makeup, and I walk up and was like, hey Doug, I haven't seen you in like, oh wait, no, we just worked together like 2 hours ago. Sorry, but he's in this enormous
he's so in the zone of
those makeup and costumes and stuff like that is just terrifying. Do you have any interest in doing full face
Prosthetics
and body
and all that,
prosthetics and doing creature stuff? Have you ever wanted to do something like that?
I've never done creature stuff. I thought it'd always be cool to be like the scary thing in a scary movie.
Yeah.
But I've never done anything like that. I mean, like on Insidious, the more and more I was in the further, I don't know if people could tell, but I got paler and paler. And like they like contoured my face to make me look skinnier.
Yeah.
Like I haven't eaten. So
at the end,
was
that was
like
a body double.
That was the body double.
so you know, like that's like the most I've ever done.
Yeah.
But also, you know, for theater, they have like in a big theater, they have to just cover you with makeup. And one time I did cabaret over the summer.
Oh yeah, you just did that this past summer.
Yeah, and so there are. I do not play one of the cabaret boys, but the cabaret boys are like strippers.
Right.
And so they thought I was one of the cabaret boys, and they put lipstick on me and all this makeup, and I'm like, oh no, I am not this. So I went to the director. I was like, help me. What do I do?
Right. Yeah. Who did you play?
I played Ernst, who's like the bad guy.
Oh yeah. That must have been so
great
cool.
show.
It was so fun. I had.
Where did you do it?
I did it with my friend's theater company called Debatable Productions, and we just did it in Burbank.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah. And so for that, like,
What theater in Burbank?
it was called the Colony Theater.
Oh, I know exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And that was a lot of fun. I did a German accent, like, whenever we did shows for a week, I would just be doing a German accent when I talked to everyone, just trying to get into character.
Oh wow, very cool. Is there other musicals or plays that you want to do?
I mean, the shows that I'd want to do is Beauty and the Beast. I'd want to play Gaston, and I think I might do that next year with my school. But we just did Annie. And I played. That was fun. That was
Who were
really
you?
fun. I was Rooster.
Oh yeah, that's
nice.
the part,
That's
man.
that's the best part of the show.
That's the best part to play in the show.
Yeah.
I have a Annie story I've always wanted to do. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time.
You've always wanted to play Annie?
I've always wanted to play Annie. I've actually talked to a theater company about doing this and almost convinced them to do it. Is I said this is a true thing. If there's a theater company listening, this is something I've always wanted to do. You guys mount a production of Annie, full mounted production of Annie. Okay, everyone learns the songs, everyone learns their lines. I'll play Daddy Warbucks. Okay, I'm gonna learn 0 lines.
Right.
Okay, I'm not gonna learn any of the songs. I'm not gonna learn any of the lines. I will come in and I will improvise all my dialogue, and it'll be rated R. So I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say the whole time. No one can stop me, and that's the plan for my production of Annie. I've always thought that would be...
And you're just going to sell it as Annie. You're
It's
not going to
just
explain to
Annie.
the audience.
It's going to be fucking Annie.
It's going to be fucking Annie is the name of the show.
Not Annie and a lunatic.
just like, I just think it would be such a fun show to ruin repeatedly throughout the show. Where
So,
she's like, I have a dog. My dog's here, and you're like, I fucking hate dogs. All right, you can stay, I guess. We have anything to eat in this
President's
big
in a
giant-
wheelchair? What the hell?
What the fuck is that guy in a wheelchair for? Just doing that the whole time.
When he comes out, you just gotta go, whoa, what happened to you?
Whoa!
What the fuck?
Holy shit! When did you get in a wheelchair?
Punjab, what did you do to the president?
Do you fucking kick him in the legs? Oh my god! Jesus! And then everyone has to stick to their lines and keep the show going.
Any crazy millionaires that are listening, that's just a taste of
See,
what the show
you
could be.
get it. You know what I'm trying to do. That's the only one I'd ever want to ruin. Is Annie.
my God.
The rest of the musicals, I love musicals.
You mean
but that musical
Intentionally.
intentionally.
As
But I
opposed to
think-
Suburbia, which you ruined.
I think you
I
know.
didn't ruin Suburbia. How could you?
But you know all the words already because I remember getting into your car one time and the Annie CD was stuck in your CD player for like 6 months on end. So you
No, that
just
is
drove
true.
around listening
That
to
is very
Annie
true. I know all the
nonstop.
music. I know all the music songs. I know all the
I only
songs.
like 2 of those songs in that show.
It's a lot of
Hard Knock Life, and what's the other?
God, no. No.
Easy Street.
NYC and
NYC
Easy Street.
and Easy Street are the only
Listen,
good songs in the show.
listen.
Yeah,
As
so
a
it's
redhead,
garbage.
I will tell you that is the greatest of all musicals. It's the only one.
What?
It's the only one we get.
Yeah,
It's the only one from
Yeah, I
our
guess
people.
that's
Redheads,
true.
that's it.
It's the only redheaded musicals. Yeah.
So wait, why doesn't Matt play Annie in your crazy version of Annie?
What? Maybe this is what we do for Christmas.
Maybe it's just
Maybe
all
our
lunatics
Christmas show.
that never learn the lines or the music.
There we go.
Wait,
You know
so
what we
would
could
you
do it?
learn your songs? Or
I kind of already know the songs, but I would know them.
Would you know them for the show?
I think I would have to know the songs.
Okay.
You'd have to have a
somewhat.
rough idea
Okay.
when
a rough
she's like,
idea of the song.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
the
poor as a
musical.
mouse.
I'm richer than Midas.
There you go.
There you go, yeah.
But
You got
if
part
I'm
of it.
stuttering over it, it's still funny. You know,
Oh, fuck.
I guess.
In our
I don't need something now to turn my skies to blue, even though that's not the lyrics.
I don't need anything but you.
Bop, 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 bop. My favorite,
Just torpedoed this podcast.
My favorite musical moment that we've ever had on the show is when Tom Sizemore was on the show, who was a fucking nightmare person, and he kept showing us photos of his girlfriend's ass.
Oh
and going,
my
Is this
gosh.
almost over? I have
He
to
did do
fuck
that.
this soon.
No.
Like, it was the worst interview. But the only thing that was good is that during the interview, he sang One Last Kiss from Bye Bye Birdie, because he had been in one of the original productions of Bye Bye Birdie, so
That's
he started
crazy.
singing Bye Bye Birdie to us, which was so fucking bizarre. But that's we're getting way off topic. Hey Matt, before we continue the show, let me ask you a quick question, Matt. When you're getting down with the ladies, you lubing it up? Lubing it up, Matt?
You have to.
Sometimes you got to get your lubes on. But I'll tell you what, the biggest problem, I think, for most people is that, lube, it goes everywhere, especially when it's dark, it's in the middle of the night.
Gets all over.
It gets all over the place, and that's no fun for nobody, which is why I always say you should use Lube Light. That's right. Lube Light lets you pop its cap for an instant illumination. Wow. That's incredible.
So you just open it up and then you've got a light?
You got a light built in. Any lube will work in this bottle. It is you grip it, flip it, squeeze it, fill it up, and I'm telling you right now, bam! You got a lube light. You pop its cap for instant illumination, and then lube gets applied wherever you want it applied, not where it wants to go. That's right. You're in charge of the lube now. Also, you can keep the light on while you're getting down to clown. And that ambient light, it's very nice. It's never blinding, and especially while you're grinding. So, don't take it from me, Matt. Don't take this advice from me. Take it from a satisfied customer.
Lube Light has changed everything in the bedroom for me. I used to always just be worried about making a mess. Half the time I couldn't even find it. But with Lube Light, I'm always guaranteed a hole-in-one.
That's why you should try lubelights.com. Lubelights.com. We're talking about lube, folks. Lubelights.com.
Also available on Amazon.com. Search for Flip Lube Light.
All right, let's get back to the show. War of the Worlds. See? Back in. War of the Worlds. You were in War of the Worlds.
I've always wanted to be in War of the Worlds but not learn my lines. It would be awesome.
Now do War of the Worlds, but don't know any of your lines. When you did that, it was Spielberg, which is incredible. Was the set? I don't know. I'm having trouble remembering, but the set that you were on, was it a CG set or a giant, fully built out, enormous, terrifying set? Like
it wasn't a built set. It was a dock in some bay, I think, in New York.
Okay.
Or something like that. I have no idea. I remember getting on a plane for that film. I don't know where I went. So I was actually cut out of a lot of that movie. I played, or not a lot of it, but I played Tom Cruise's neighbor. I got most of my scenes cut out besides this one little close-up to me. But basically, what I remember from that is, because the army was there, like the real army was there, to play soldiers, to like rush people onto this ferry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so or the National Guard or something like that. So they let me go in their tank. Like they had a real tank there. And so I remember getting hoisted up by these guys and put into a tank just so I could see it.
Oh my God.
And
that's amazing.
One of the coolest experiences I've had on set.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
Did you have scenes with Tom Cruise? Like a lot of interaction
I
with him,
think
or?
so, but I really don't remember any of
It's
it.
really big in the deleted scenes. Huge part in the deleted
We gotta
scenes
watch
of the
that.
movie. Yeah.
And Spielberg about to do West Side Story, bringing it back to musicals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what other musicals are you a fan of that you would want to do? We kind of started to talk about that, and then
Right.
I took it and ran into a field and beat it to death. What other shows would you want to do?
Annie, or not Annie, sorry. I was thinking about Annie because you said. I'd love to do Beauty and the Beast, like I said earlier. That's really the only one that I can think of.
Annie and Beauty and the Beast.
Well, not Annie. I've already done.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Like my dream role is Gaston. But I mean, if I knew how to dance West Side Story, I love West Side Story.
Are you listening, Spielberg?
Are you listening, Spielberg?
Probably not.
My agents asked me, "Can you dance, Ty?" Like, because West Side Story is coming up. I was like, "Oh, I don't
Can
know
you
how to.
just
I'm sorry, no."
Get some lessons, man.
You could do it.
They also asked me about Dear Evan Hansen, and I said for Broadway, and I said no because I didn't know how to sing, and that's how I got into theater.
Really? So you were like, I gotta get some training.
Because it was something I was very interested in, but I never. Because I mean, like I used to sing when I was little, but I had a little high baby voice, and now I have this deep voice.
You didn't have training.
I didn't have training or anything like that, so. I started hanging out with my friend, and because I wanted to be Gaston for years, and so I told my friend, find a production of Beauty and the Beast that we can be in together. She was like, okay, and so she texted me out of the blue, out of nowhere. She's like, Ty, I know you want to be in musicals more, and this isn't Beauty and the Beast, but you'll love this. It's cabaret, and she explained it to me, and my family is German, and I don't really know much about our history, and so I was like, this is a great way to learn, and so I said, yes, I will do it.
Wow.
And so I was actually just going to go take photos for their posters.
Yeah.
But then they saw me with the little German boy haircut and in the suit and everything, looking all menacing and evil. And they're like, Ty, do you want to be in this? Do you want to be in the show? I mean, like, I still had to audition.
Yeah.
But yep, that's how it happened. And I actually bombed the audition, and I asked the director, "Can I audition again, please? Because that is not what I can do." Because like it was my first musical audition, so I just walked in and I sang the song terribly, and I was like,
"What was the song?"
Okay, sorry.
What's the
It was "Tomorrow Belongs to Me."
Will you do a little bit? Will you give us a little?
Oh God, I don't know.
Come on, give us a little.
I don't know if it's appropriate to sing.
Come on, I just sang anything but you.
This is like a
Really badly,
It's
too.
fine.
Listen, Tom Sizemore sang "Bye Bye Birdie" to
Oh,
us.
don't quote Tom Sizemore.
Okay, I have to get in my accent. Hold on. All right. The babe in his cradle is closing his eyes. The blossom embraces the bee.
That's amazing! Holy crap,
Fantastic.
dude,
Thank
you're
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you totally need to do more musicals, man.
That's the plan.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to be in our Crazy Annie that we're doing?
I'd love to.
We're gonna do an Annie. It's called Fucking Annie. I don't know if I've pitched it to you yet, but it's really great. Now, Iron Man 3. You pop into Iron Man 3,
Yeah.
and you got cool stuff. You got a cool scene. You got to hang out with Robert Downey Jr. And you get like you develop this character with him. What was that experience like? How did that go down? Fill us in a little bit. I'm a huge Robert Downey Jr. fan.
So like just how? Wait. So how did?
How did the whole situation?
Ask
go
an
down?
actual question.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm too much of a fan.
So how did you get
movie.
cast in the movie?
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
start
there
there.
we
Who
go.
is Iron Man, for starters?
What is an Iron Man?
So basically, I was driving to school or something like that, and my agent called me and said, "You have an audition for Iron Man 3," and I was like, "Oh." Like what? Because that was one of the first movies I saw when I moved here.
That is the exact right reaction, by the way. What?
I was 6 years old and I was sitting in the front row, and so that's the first time. No, I actually had Iron Man comics before that, but so I started to audition. I went in for the first audition, and I didn't hear back for months, and so I was like, "Oh, I didn't get it. That's okay." And then a call back, and I was like, okay, awesome. I thought I did good, but I didn't hear back for months. I was like, all right, whatever. That's fine. You know, you win some, you lose some. That's a good experience that I missed out on. That's okay. And then I get a call that says, "Ty, you have a chemistry read with Robert Downey Jr." And I was like,
Oh my god.
Okay. And so there's actually a video of the chemistry read online, which I think is pretty cool. I watched that once, I think.
Once a day.
And so they flew us out with like the 5 kids that were down for Harley for the final 5.
Now,
And
can I ask? You don't have to say names, but were any of the other 4 Are they famous or are they working or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They're all losers, Mike. Losers. They lost the
God.
whole.
I asked
They're
it in a nice
Walker,
way.
you rat bastard.
They are amazing kids. I
my
see that.
God.
One of them is going to cure cancer.
I see
I'm
them
sure
every
of
once
it.
in a while at auditions.
I
and
love
I'm like,
that
oh,
Matt.
hey.
This is why
He's
we
gonna
have
cure-
Matt on the show, is because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
That's just what he does.
Yeah, Mike. One of them will cure cancer, but he won't be an Iron Man.
No, that's true.
And so basically, they flew us all out, and we all hung out. We saw movies together. And
Did you
stuff
know
like
they
that.
were losers at the time? Like, did you know that you had it at that
I was
time?
a little cocky asshole when I was
When you were at
little.
lunch, like, let me get this one.
So I would say to myself before, when I was like, I remember the day of the audition, I brushed my teeth for 5 minutes to make sure my breath smelled good for Robert. And for the entire trip, I was saying, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this. So I already had this big confidence boost of being a
Right.
dick. And then I go into the audition, and I kill it. I was no. And,
Robert gave you a high five at the end.
so yeah, we were talking, and I talked about some of the movies that he was in. I watched a couple of movies in preparation, like Chaplin.
Yeah, sure.
One of the best.
Because I've already seen Iron Man 1 and 2 and
Sure.
Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. And so we were talking for a little bit, and then we got into the scene. I asked questions about the lines, and then we got into the scene. And we just vibed in there. Just, I talked to him very comfortably, and I interacted with him well. And then after, he was like, "This is what we need. We need this in the movie. We need something like this in the movie." He said that to me.
Wow.
And so I left.
That's really cool.
And my mom describes it as whispering very loud, of saying, "I think I got it," in front of all the other kids.
Wow.
And so,
And you could hear their hearts burst.
so
was there a sense of competition? Do you feel like there's a sense of competition?
with maybe some of them, but with two of them, I got really close with them, and we hung out a lot. We swam in the pool and all that stuff. And so a month went by, and then I'm in school. And my mom runs into my classroom. She worked at my school. She runs into my classroom. "I need to talk to Ty now." I'm like, okay. And so she...
I didn't do it.
I mean, I thought I was in trouble. So she started turning around, like, "What's wrong?" And then she's just like, "Here." She hands me a phone. I'm go, "Hello? Hello, Ty. This is Robert Downey Jr. And I'm just informing you that you are going to be in Iron Man 3. I'm like, "What?"
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Where were you where were you at school? Where was the school?
It was. I went to Larchmont Charter School for my elementary school. It's in Hollywood.
Okay, so did the people you were in school with, did they know you'd audition for Iron Man 3?
I don't remember. I don't think I.
Because
told
like you
them.
walk
I
back
think
in
it was
class, you're
better
like,
at
"Hey, by the
keeping
way, I'm an
NDAs.
Iron Man." Like, is that?
No, I actually wasn't allowed to tell anyone for a while. Yeah.
What did you leave school immediately? Did your
Well, I
mom
mean,
go,
it was
"You gotta get out,
it was the
you gotta
last
get
class of the day.
Right.
Okay.
And so, but I left like class like halfway through. And so
What did you do after? Right, well, what happened?
Well, we
immediately?
Flipped off all his teachers. I don't need you nerds anymore.
we talked
I'm a star.
for 20 minutes. Just about and just about everything, like I asked him like what I should call him, Tony, Mr. Stark, Mr. Downey, Robert, whatever, and he made some jokes because he's a jokester, but we talked for 20 minutes, and then maybe 1 or 2 months later, I was out there filming Iron Man 3 in North Carolina.
Wow. When were you able to tell people that you were in the movie?
I don't think I was until I came out. I mean, I told like a couple people.
Friends. Yeah.
Tomorrow, you can tell people you're in Iron Man
you can
3.
tell people.
I mean, I didn't know if I was allowed to tell people I was in Endgame or not. I mean, I knew someone whose mom worked on the set, and so they were telling everyone. But
Well, that was one of those surprise things that like people were. It became one of those things after the movie came out. When every single one of those videos, it's like what you missed or
Right.
what you here's little Easter eggs, hints, things like this. Every single one of those videos was
and
pointing
whenever
at you, going,
like I look on like my suggestions, like who is that kid at the end of Endgame or something. But like I mean, like IMDb posted about it when I was added to the IMDb of Endgame. Like it was pretty much confirmed for a while. I personally just didn't want to talk about it. Like I do live streams on my Instagram.
Sure.
And so everyone's asking me, "Are you in Endgame? Are you in Endgame? Are you in Endgame?" And I'm like, I didn't want to answer. I mean, like, I think I could, but I mean, I didn't want to answer just because that's a
Well,
fun
and you don't
little
want to
thing.
spoil it for
Right.
people that are like into it and haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And also, I think most of the videos though that were coming out were for people. There are a ton of people that are just starting on that movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's their first Marvel movie at all, and I'm like, I can't imagine starting on the last chapter like that. You know, and not having a bunch of instructional videos beforehand. You know, but
It was such a fantastic movie. What was that day like? Now that the movie's out, and we can, this is a huge spoiler for people that are.
It's okay. The rooster said you can spoil
You've
it
had
now.
enough time.
we can spoil it. So at the end of Endgame, after Tony Stark has
save the world.
saved the world,
There's a big party for him.
There's a scene where where Tony Stark and Thor
Kind of is. Like,
join the Fantastic Four. That's how the movie ends. So after Tony Stark has passed on and he has his funeral
After
at the
he
end-
dies.
Yes, after he has died, there is a memorial scene where it's everybody that's basically a part of the Marvel universe, and they're all hanging out, and they're all like at the memorial, and you're there as part of it, and you have your own special moment. You're by yourself.
18 seconds. Actually,
Yeah,
I counted.
18 seconds. That's significant. That is a significant amount of time, and you're the only person
It's alone.
that is alone.
Besides, like, Fury.
Yeah.
well, even
Yeah.
I think he's with like Shield people, isn't
He
he?
is. He's with the lady from Shield. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. But
Shield lady.
Shield lady
is her name.
Is what they call her. Yeah. But you're the only person
stupid.
that's in the movie
For 432 frames. by
Yes,
the way.
but you're the only person that's in the movie that is from another film that's then brought in for that one moment. That's the as far as that. You know what I mean? Like, so what was that day like? What was that set like that day? Did you know that you were at the funeral?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, they called me and then they told me a little bit about the movie.
So they spoiled it for you before you had a chance to see it. They're like, here's what's going to happen at the end. Tony Stark's going to die, and then you're going to show up at the funeral. Yeah.
Did you call the four losers and tell them what was going to happen?
Oh man!
So I'm just letting you know, I'm actually in Endgame now, so I'm in double Marvel.
Just to make you guys feel a little bit better, Iron Man dies. So
I mean, that was a very crazy day. I mean, I'm just trying to remember it. We filmed it in Atlanta, and I love Atlanta, so I was very excited to go back. And we were staying in the city, and we were filming in the suburbs, so it was like an hour and a half drive. And
Did you drive out with other cast members? Or
no, so actually it was just me and my mom with this and like they didn't have classic movie vans, and they didn't say Endgame on them, and so we didn't know the little thing, the code name that they go by. Like Iron Man's was Caged Heat, Jurassic World was Ebb Tide, so they have little code names.
right, Caged Heat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a wonderful prison
I saw
film.
that film.
Yeah.
Love it. Love yes.
Been played on Cinemax all the time.
Oh, yes.
For growing lads. You know?
And so we yeah, and so we didn't know the thing, so we had to walk up. It's like, is this for that one movie? And they like, so we walked to like two vans, I think, and so we just got in one van, and the lady started taking us, and we just talked for the whole time about past Marvel movies and Iron Man 3 and Civil War and stuff like that. And then when I got to set, I wanted to say hi to Robert. That was the first thing I wanted to do, and so I walked in, and they were actually filming a scene. And so I had met Tom Holland in the past a few times. And so when he walked by, he's like, he saw me. He's like, oh, hey, buddy, what's up? And we talked. And so then I went
That was actually a good Tom Holland impression.
Hey, buddy. It's very close to Mickey Mouse.
Hey, buddy, what's up? Hey, buddy. It's like, hey, buddy, what's up? Here's what happens at the end of this movie. Let me tell you all about it. No,
I'm Spider-Man.
No, that was later. That was later in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Spoiler Man. That's what I am.
And so then I walked up to Robert, and we had a little reunion, as we do. We talked for a while.
So he was on that set?
No, so he was, because like this was like a multi-day shoot kind of thing. So I had to go in for fittings and stuff like that. And so that's what I went in. And we said hi. And so the next day is when we filmed the scene. And it was at this beautiful like ranch estate thing. And I just got there and like it was like 4 in the morning, something like that. And so I was just looking out at this field that we were going to be filming on. I thought it was the coolest thing. And then because we did the 10-year Marvel shoot and the scene in one day, and so they had both of my clothes. And I was so confused why I had like rich people clothes. Like it was like designer brand stuff. Like Harley is a poor boy, and so that was like the first thing I talked to them about. And then they explained it to me. And I got to see the first AD from Jurassic World. He was on that, and so we talked for a while. But then when we got to the scene, I was so nervous. Because one, we were making probably one of the most important scenes in modern film history. In one of the most important films in modern film history. With many Oscar winners there, and I'm there. I'm just this rinky-dink kid that has been in like 4 or 5 blockbuster movies.
But you're there with who's some of the people that are there with
Tom
you?
Holland,
Mark Ruffalo,
Anthony Mackie, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth,
Jeremy Renner,
Don Cheadle,
Paul Rudd,
and so I talked to Paul Rudd because I actually. One of the first musical I did was Clueless the musical, and so I played Paul Rudd's character.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
where did you do that?
At my school. And Jeremy Sisto, who was in that as well, is a very good friend of mine. And so I talked to Paul about Jeremy and about playing Josh and Clueless. And we talked to that. I talked to Tom about some of the movie a little bit.
So he did spoil the movie for you.
I talked to Mark Ruffalo about acting. He gave me really good acting advice.
You know what's so fascinating about Mark Ruffalo is he's such a fucking strange dude. That guy's career. He was in a movie. Hang on, I'm going to tell you the name of the movie. It was a movie where he played a music. Hang on. Begin Again.
He played a music.
He played like a music producer. It's called Begin Again. And it was the guys who had done Once, which won like the Oscar. And it was him and Keira Knightley, and he was drunk the whole movie. The character was that he was drunk the whole movie. And I remember watching it. It was my introduction to him, to Mark Ruffalo, and I was like, "Oh God, this guy! What is this guy's deal? This is what he does. He's like a what a nut." And then he starts popping in with Avengers: Age of Ultron, and then he was incredible. But it's funny how like that was like my first introduction to him was this like bad movie with Keira Knightley and him like trying to be a music producer and him like being drunk the whole movie, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
What were you like? You're like, no, I've played a music producer.
This is not how it's done.
That's what you do.
Speaking of that, I was a fan of Big Time Rush.
Oh,
when I was a little kid. When I was very young, I was a big fan. Actually, it was at the time during Iron Man 3 with that I was a big fan of Big Time Rush. And I thought it was so funny that you're on it, and now we're friends.
Well, now we're friends. Now we're friends, and now we've gotten to work together, and we've gotten to do fun things together. Matt, you and me are both stand-up comedians, and I know we both say a lot of things that are very offensive on a regular basis. Do you ever have trouble sleeping at night?
Yeah, not because of things I say, though. It's just because I have lousy pillows.
Oh, okay. So you don't have like a horrible feeling of guilt sometimes for the awful things. Oh, that's nice.
Never. I'm proud of the horrible things that I say to people.
That's good. That's a good way to be. Sometimes I do have trouble sleeping, or I did have trouble sleeping until I got this brand new pillow.
What kind of pillow?
I mean, this is next level stuff, Matt. This is a pillow. You've never seen a pillow like this because until recently it did not exist. It's called the buttress pillow. And it is shaped like a butt, and it has little legs, and you're not going to believe this. You got to go check it out. Thebuttresspillow.com.
So it's like your face rests on a butt.
Your face is pressed into a butt crack while the legs support your neck and shoulders, basically. It
sounds comfortable.
It is very comfortable. It's ergonomic. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Ergonomic, functional, all natural, and it's absolutely beautiful. Check this out. This is from their website. Soft but supportive, with the feeling of a butt. All right, and the sweet spot is between the thighs and the cheeks, which will gently cradle your head and support your neck. Great for side sleepers, back sleepers, and stomach sleepers. It's squeezable, slappable, face variable, relieves stress, from having a long, horrible day. What do you want to do at the end of a long day?
Put your head in a butt.
That is 100% right.
Well,
you can dress it up, you can dress it down. You want to throw some PJs
You
on it?
convinced me, so where do I go get one of these?
You go to thebuttress.pillow.com, thebuttress.pillow.com. That's THEBUTTRESS pillow.com. Go to thebuttress.pillow.com, Matt, and get your sleep on. You'll have much better dreams. All right, let's get back to the show. But nothing beats Jurassic World. Jurassic World is
Greatest movie of all time.
But
Made a lot of money, especially that little kid. Oh, damn, he was.
Damn, that little kid killed it. That
so
little kid
good.
killed it.
That hair though was so amazing.
Hair, you had great hair. It was you. It was you. It was the Chris Pratt.
Yes.
It was the Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
It was the Judy Greer. It was Nick Robinson.
Which my parents actually saw today before I went to go do this.
Really?
They were at IKEA and they saw him.
How weird is that?
Right?
That's bizarre.
Well, that's the thing is, like, in LA, you run into people like that all the time. Just if you're just around, you will see people who've been in like big movies just like doing their grocery shopping.
Well, Jurassic World was a massive, massive movie, and it was like the reintroduction of all the Jurassic, world, like all the Jurassic stuff. How did you end up getting cast in that movie, and what was the process like for you on working on something like that?
So that was actually a very non-rigorous process whatsoever. I think Colin knew what he wanted from day one.
Yeah.
He contacted me after I was done filming Iron Man 3. He contacted me after I was done filming Iron Man 3. I actually went to go to Alabama because my sister was filming a movie out there. So we went out there, and then we wanted to see the South a little bit. So we went to Nashville and all that stuff.
Didn't they fly you and the guy who played your brother to Hawaii? Or didn't they let you vacation together?
Yeah. So basically what happened is after we were cast, we had one audition.
Right.
But I think it was only us two that were being looked at for the roles. Because the movie got actually put on hold. I was like, they said they were in talks with me, and then they put the movie on hold because they wanted to rewrite the script. And so then like a year later, they contacted me again about being in it. And so they brought me and Nick in for an audition to do a scene together. It was actually the scene. We did two scenes. We did the scene where we were in the gyrosphere, and then the Indominus Rex was tapping on the glass and broke in. So they wanted me to scream, of course. So I screamed for them. Sure. I'm not going to scream for you.
No, you don't have to do that.
And then
actually, we have your co-star from Insidious right behind you now. Scream.
And so then we did the other scene, which was when it was Nick and I in the little truck that we were saying like, it's gonna be all right, like you're my little brother, and it was our bonding moment. That's the two scenes we did together. And then we got cast in it, and I was at a cello class, and then they told me there with my dad, and I cried.
So you play cello?
I used to, not anymore. Yep.
So they told you when you were at the cello?
Yeah, so they pulled me out, and I knew what the call was.
So do you just like, at this point in your career, are you just going to like sign up for a bunch of community college classes so you can be in class all the time because that's when they call you to tell you're in big movies?
That is not a bad idea, actually. That's a pretty good idea.
True. Just take classes constantly.
Yes.
And so then they flew us out to Hawaii a month and a half early, and we filmed 8 days on Oahu, and the rest of the time we just vacationed together, and and it paid off because the 8 days that we filmed together, they were when we were kind of separated and not close together.
Yeah.
And so the chemistry didn't need to be there. But over the time that we were together in Hawaii, we got that chemistry. We became best friends. We did everything together. We became brothers.
Wow.
And so when we went to go film on Kauai for 2 weeks and the 3 months in New Orleans, we were brothers.
Were there? I know that most of the special effects and stuff in Jurassic World were CG, but
Yes.
there were some things that were done.
There was one. There was one
Well,
dinosaur.
Steven was the body double for the Stegosaurus.
Yes, I was the Stegosaurus. I don't know if people know
They
that.
actually had body doubles for the raptors and for the baby Triceratops. They had these gigantic bodybuilders.
People in costumes or what?
No, well, so they had
Just buff dudes.
buff dudes in these black what do you call those?
Like the skin tight suits.
Yeah.
Or whatever? Yeah, like
And-
a ninja suit or whatever.
Yeah, so they had like these balls on them and like a saddle on
Oh, the
them.
motion
so,
capture suit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so kids could ride on these dudes. And then they used elephant feet for the Triceratops feet for like cleaning.
Are
those
there
shots.
set photos or like behind the scenes video of that? Because that's hilarious.
I think there are.
Yeah.
And so also then there were the raptor guys, and they were wearing half a bicycle helmet material of like a raptor head in the motion capture suits, and so there are these
Oh, that's
dudes
like the
running
shots of-
around like that.
Yeah.
That's like the shots of Ahmed Best when he was doing Jar Jar, where he
Yeah.
had like the top of Jar Jar's head on his
Yeah,
on
on
a
top of
helmet.
his head. Yeah.
Yeah, for the eye line. and
Gives you
stuff.
eye line.
Right,
gives you a
right.
lot of
No,
stuff.
it's good.
Yeah,
And
and they
so
can
we-
replace them later.
Yeah, we always had to do 2 shots with the raptors because of some of them were the people, and then some of them they're just nothing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Wowzers.
there was one animatronic, and that was the dying dinosaur, where it was like the dying. I think it was an Allosaurus or something like that. I don't know, but it was in the field when Chris and Bryce go to find us, and so I got to go on set for that. And I got to see it.
That's cool.
That must have been cool.
Yeah, and then they built the main street too.
Yeah, one of the big, one of the hardest things to do when it comes to dinosaurs and dragons and things like this. I've just been watching a bunch of stuff about this. Is physically touching like a dinosaur or phically touching a dragon or
Because you
something.
got to make skin.
Yeah, you have to make it so that the skin interacts and the light interacts with the hand and stuff like that. And that's like having a giant dinosaur in a scene with you is one thing, but actually having to interact with it. Yeah, that's Game of Thrones has been dealing with a bunch of problems.
That's why they
with
made their
that.
dragons tiny, so they can just like, oh, it's in my hand.
Those dragons are enormous.
They're huge now.
How are you not watching Game of Thrones?
Do not spoil it. I am not caught up.
Matt, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
You started watching 2 weeks ago.
I am a massive Game of Thrones fan.
You also think because you met
I'm
George R. R.
technically,
Martin
yes.
2 days ago.
Did you meet him?
I just met George
The other day?
R.
Yeah.
Martin. Yes, I call him Georgie at this point.
Riri.
Oh, no.
Riri, Georgie Riri. I met him and I said to him that I said someone just came up to me and said I was wearing a white suit and I said someone just came up to me and said I look like I ate a White Walker.
I'm sure he loved that.
He
I'm sure
laughed
he
real
loved
hard,
that.
and I was like, "That's great. All right, I'm done. Bye." Like immediately.
I
got
was
away
giving
from him.
interviews next to him. There's a picture of me, him, and my friend in the background who was like my handler. And when I was done with the interview, I walked up to my friend and I told him about the interview, and then we just see him like waddling over. My friend was just like, he looks at my friend, he goes, "Hi," and my friend's like, "Hey, big fan." And he's like, "Oh, hi," and then he just shakes his hand and walked away. I was like,
He was so cool and fun.
I wish I got to meet him.
exactly what you would want. In
I know.
something like that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: favorite? We've seen each other at things at premieres. We were at Stan Lee's memorial
Yes.
with Mike Black here. What's your favorite? In the history of everything that you've been to, and not something that you were in. Like something that you have attended that you were like, oh, this was a really neat thing to go to.
well, of course, the Stanley. That was fun. My sister's premiere for the movie The House, which was with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler.
Your sister was in that movie?
Yeah, she played Will Ferrell's daughter.
What?
Yeah,
How amazing is that?
that was really cool. I actually got to talk baseball with Will Ferrell for a little bit.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So is she a working actress right now as well?
She's like a full-time college student right now. So, but she still does acting, and she's still So she's she's a working actress right now.
But she's in class, so that call could come any minute now.
Could come at any point.
Anytime. Yeah.
But so they had this like whole they had craps and poker
Oh,
and
so
blackjack at the
fun.
premiere of that. So I went crazy. My my sister's agent or manager just sent me a photo of me that night. If we were gambling with real money, I would have made over something like $180,000 or something like that. Oh my god! I was a hot shooter that night.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I'm a smart bettor. What can I say?
You're very good at this. Are you going to go to college or university?
Yes. At least at this point. I mean, so for the past since 6th grade, I've wanted to go to the United States Naval Academy. And so I've been working my whole middle school and high school career up to this point to get into there. I am getting my letters of rec ready and everything like that. I have my essay written.
Yeah, it's tough to get in.
It's one of the hardest schools to get into in America. But I am second guessing myself right now if I should go. Just because of all this cool stuff that's happening.
You're the only
right
person that could get them a letter of recommendation from Nick Fury. How awesome would that be? If that doesn't get you in, I don't know what would.
But I'm also going to apply to schools for theater and stuff like that. And I'm also thinking about not going to college. So I have a lot of stuff that's just waiting for me.
Yeah.
If you go the not college route, then definitely send them the letter from Nick Fury.
If you decide not to go,
and either way you win. If they accept you, you win. If they don't accept
with no context, just send them a letter.
Yeah, send them a letter from Nick
highly
Fury.
recommend this young man.
But yeah,
accept this motherfucking student.
There we go. And now we have it.
Because it's a really hard school to get into because you have to get a letter of rec from a senator,
gotta be from a
congressman, vice president, or president, and then you have to get your outside letter of recs from your teachers and friends and family and stuff like that.
Or the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's the way to go. It's the safe bet.
I actually, so on the way back from Endgame, I was sitting in front of him on the plane. So I sat in front of Nick Fury, not behind him, in front of him.
Oh
on
my
a plane.
god.
did you have any fake rubber snakes? You could just like.
Oh my gosh, no.
There's so many opportunities, but boy, do you need a lot of balls for all of them. With Samuel L. Jackson.
I was
sitting right behind you.
Crap.
Oh, also another cool story from Endgame.
Yeah, just don't dress like Marvin.
Yes, please. Wait, hang on. We have another cool story from Endgame.
So they gave us these books, these big like Marvel like nerd books that has like everything to do with like all these like characters and pictures from movies and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And so Robert Downey Jr. held this like after party for after the scene, just to, like, and he invited me, so I went.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas walks up to me with the book, and he's like, everyone's signing all of them, and he's like, "Can you sign this book for me?" I was like, "Yeah, totally, dude. No problem." So I gave Michael Douglas an autograph.
And who do I make this out to?
and who are you? And so the next day when we had the party, we had like the 10-year shoot that day. So we all went to take the photo, and there's like a speech that was happening afterwards, and so all the books were lined up. So I gave autographs to Anthony Mackie, Brie Larson, to all these people, and they all gave me their autographs. But the hardest thing, because before I got someone to walk up to go ask people for the picture, for the autographs, because I was nervous, was to ask Samuel L. Jackson for an autograph.
Oh yeah,
that, and also asking Vin Diesel for a photo, because I'm a huge Fast and Furious fan, and he was sitting right behind me for the photo. And so as soon as it was over, I didn't know what to call him. I didn't know what to call him, Mr. Vin, Mr. Diesel, Mr. Vin Diesel. So I walk up to him like, "Mr. Vin Diesel, hello, my name is Ty." And we talked for like 5 minutes, and he asked about me and my career, and what movies I was in, and how much of a fan I was about Fast and Furious, and I took a photo with him. And it was awesome.
Now you'll be in the next one.
I would not turn it down, let me tell you.
I got Vin Diesel's autograph like 12 years ago when he did Pitch Black, and nobody knew who he was, and they kind of like forced us to. It was like we went to this like weird little like Q&A about it, and they're like, "Now everyone get in line and take one of these pictures," and they handed us like everyone's headshot in the movie.
Oh my gosh. And
me and my friend Brian are in line, and we get to Vin Diesel, and we haven't seen the movie, and he doesn't sound particularly bright at that time in his life. And my friend Brian goes, I guess, could you make this out to Brian? And he goes, I know a Brian.
I know, Brian.
You're not him. And then he signs it and moves on. And it was the greatest thing that he's ever said in my life.
Wow.
And I've been a huge Vin Diesel fan ever since.
True
that moment.
story. They actually named Paul Walker's character after your friend.
Oh, really? That would be hilarious.
Holy crap.
I didn't realize that till you said it, that character was named Brian.
Wait, had Fast and Furious already come out at that point?
No.
Okay, 'cause I thought
Pitch
maybe he was
Black was like
making
the
a-
very first
Okay.
big thing. That
I thought he was maybe making a Fast and Furious joke.
Before that, he was making how to breakdance videos.
No.
Which you can see
Vin
on the
Diesel. I mean, you know the Vin Diesel story of him and
Street Sharks. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, the brother, the one with the soldiers. Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private
Yeah.
Ryan.
Oh yeah,
He
I
was
keep
in-
forgetting that he's in that movie.
When he's there's a reason. Because when he was in Saving Private Ryan, he walked up to Steven Spielberg and said, "Hey, I got a real good idea for like a different thing for my character to do." And then what would happen would be is he gets shot or whatever, and then he falls down and he like rolls over. He's like, "Ah!" And then he like shoots the guy, you know, and he like pitched this whole thing to Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg was like, so Vin Diesel's gonna die today, and then he killed the character off that day. And Vin Diesel was out of the movie. Like he had like,
But he pitched it. He pitched his own death.
No, he was pitching some like action thing for him to do, and Spielberg was like, "No, this guy's not in the movie anymore. He can't. We can't work with him.
Really?
He's fucking out. Yeah, it's out. I mean, that's
you know
that
what's
story
funny?
is like an old
Can
story.
I tell
but
you
it's
though?
been
I heard a
everyone knows.
completely
Wow.
different
Yeah.
version of that story.
Okay.
Where the story went that at some point Spielberg asked him to take off his shirt, and he said that'll be another like $20,000, and he was like, "What?" And he goes, "You got to pay extra to see these guns on film."
Holy shit.
It's a whole other version of that
these
story.
Are both, these are both either story.
I don't know
Competing-
the story. Either of
competing
those are
stories.
true.
But you weren't making a joke.
No. That was
Hang on. We're
Yeah.
gonna Google. We're gonna Google
What
it.
the heck?
Vin Diesel.
this has turned into a really weird Vin Diesel podcast.
If you look at the wrong part of the internet, be like, Vin Diesel kicks Steven Spielberg in the balls.
While they're Googling, I'm going to ask, and you can just punch me right in the face, whatever you want to do. But they show Hawkeye's daughter at the end of the
Yes.
in the film. They show Iron Man's daughter.
Yes.
They show your character.
Yes.
Is anything going to happen with any of that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Close enough.
I mean, they also showed Ant-Man's daughter.
That's
and-
true, and she's grown up now.
Yes, and so we actually met at the premiere, and we've just been hanging out.
And
for the
Groot
past,
is a
like, week.
teenager now.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't even think about that.
But like, yeah, Groot is a teenager. Vin Diesel's not a teenager, but he can still play Groot.
He could play Groot, yeah.
I don't know what's happening with that.
That would be really great. I would go see that movie.
So would I.
Teen
think a lot of
Avengers,
people
hell
would.
yeah. That'd be
I think
great.
a lot of people will go see that movie, Mike.
Yes.
You would not be alone in the theater.
I don't have to pitch it to Marvel.
No, I think they
Keep an open mind. I have an idea.
like maybe we'll do some more of these comic book movies. They seem to work out.
Yeah.
After making 22 movies, they just realized
Yeah,
that.
they're like,
Maybe
wait
we
a
should do-
second.
Holy
We could
crap!
use these
Wait, I just
characters.
realized we got Oscar nominations.
Like, we need content for that new Disney Plus service. What can we do? Let's make some
Oh,
more
that
of
would be
those.
cool if they did it as a series. I didn't even think about
I'm having
that.
trouble
No,
finding. I'm
that's
trying.
what I
I'm
thought,
having
maybe.
trouble
I
finding
heard some of
validity
that
for this
too.
story.
Rumors of that.
So if anybody's listening and you guys find the exact story of Vin Diesel being fired by Steven Spielberg, please send it to me.
or what about this?
Yes,
It was in the original draft of the script.
That
you
could
go.
be.
that could be it. And there we go. And that solves that.
It could be if it was in the original draft, I could see Vin Diesel going, hey, I have a better idea where my character stays alive
Right.
for a lot longer.
That could be too.
Can you talk really quickly about one of Fabio's ideas about getting paid more
Which
on one of your shoots? Do you remember this?
please tell the story and then I'll fill
I
it
don't
in.
recall the story. That's why I wanted you to tell it. But the nuts and bolts of it was you were working with Fabio and you were going to pay him like $2,500 to come in for a day and
Yes.
and do a shoot.
And he said, no, Steven, I'm $5,000 per day. And I said, no, I know that, but we just have a very small budget for this shoot. And he went, well, I am not a small man. I am 5,000 for one day, but guess what? You get all Fabio. And then we were like, okay, all right.
What does that mean?
You get all
You get all of him. You get all of him
100%
for the day.
of Fabio.
You get for the whole day. You get whatever you want.
He doesn't say it's going to cost more to film his guns later on.
My favorite thing about him was when we did our children's hospital charity benefit. He was part of the benefit in that he said that he would do a dinner, and it wasn't a dinner. It was an
like
evening with Fabio, where he'll take you for dinner, he'll pick you up, he'll treat you real nice, he'll do all sorts of stuff like this. And Nolan Gould from Modern Family won it.
He paid $1,100 or something?
$1,100 for his mom to go, and what he said
For his mom to go?
his mom to go.
Oh, that's nice.
Like for a thing.
Yeah.
And what he said to me ahead of time, what Fabio had said was, Stephen, the last time I did this prize, it was for President Jimmy Carter. So feel pretty good about that. And I was like, okay. And he goes, and we raised $2 million for me to have a night with a woman. So feel pretty good. And I was like, all right, buddy. And then he sent me a photograph of the letter from Jimmy Carter, the president of America, saying, thank you for helping us raise $2.5 million or whatever with you for an evening with Fabio.
That's weird. But that's
weird,
cool.
but cool.
That he sent that to you, that's weird.
It is weird.
It's cool that he got that letter.
From its humble beginnings in Minnesota to a worldwide brand that has taken the vape industry by storm, Jungle Nation presents The Glory Days.
Whoa! What was that?
I'm sorry?
No! This is The Glory Days. This needs to be exciting. The Glory Days. This is not your grandparents' e-liquid company. We take the flavors you love and flip them on their flavor faces. Kiwi, lemon, lime, melon, blackberry. Are you freaking kidding me? Sound the alarm. It's a new flavor alert. Peach, orange, mango. Game over. These are some of the most well-rounded, clean e-liquid flavors on the market. Following strict FDA guidelines and recommendations, Jungle Nations is taking the best of 42 fully registered flavors and bringing them to a local vape shop near you.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Must be legal age to purchase or use.
Let these days be the glory days of tomorrow. Go to junglenation.com. That's JNGLNation.com.
We have to wrap things up, but you have two projects that are listed on IMDb that are coming up for you.
Oh.
And I want to ask you about them. Growing Up Gorman. Any idea?
That I am signed on, but have heard nothing for a couple years.
Okay, all right.
Months at least.
Oh, no.
For a couple
and
years.
Deliberation.
Again, for a couple of years, I've never heard anything on it.
Really?
But I'm
They're still
signed
deliberating.
on.
So,
Wait,
okay.
is there one Untitled
Oh,
Marvel?
and Monty and Me.
Wait, no, the Untitled
Monty and
Marvel
Me.
Project right there? You see that one?
No, that's not there.
Untitled Marvel Project? No?
Untitled Marvel
Can't-
Project.
Nothing?
No,
Damn,
nothing.
nothing. I tried.
Well,
I
we-
tried.
You scared me for a second. What
tried.
the hell? No, but here is something.
Yes, please.
Me and my friend are creating a TV show that we are hoping to film next year.
Okay.
The pilot is written. It is called Barnegat, I think. It is about 4 or 5 community college kids in New Jersey, where I'm from, because my friend is also from New Jersey. And so we were hoping to film for winter break. It's about the kids who live in LBI during the winter full year round.
Sure.
Because that is a very summer oriented town. So we wanted to show what it's like in the winter, and so it's about those kids and their experiences then.
That could be
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
And getting to shoot in New Jersey would be really, really fun. And a good time. I'm sure. You keep us posted.
I will.
That we can keep sharing and telling more things. I can't wait until you're in the next Star Wars movie, which I'm sure is going to be next. Because what other fucking amazing thing could possibly be next? Anything could happen.
When Star Wars 7 was coming out, Jurassic World was also being announced, and so I was telling my friends, I really want to tell you something, but I have to wait until a month.
So they thought Star Wars.
So one of them, all of them didn't know. One of them thought Star Wars or Jurassic World. And so as we were getting closer, it was like a week, I was like, I can't tell you until next week. The week comes up. all these articles released. Ty Simpkins, Nick Robinson, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard in Jurassic World. And the cast was released, and my friend walked up to me, he was like, I knew it. I thought it was either going to be Star Wars or Jurassic World, and it was Jurassic World. I called it.
Wow.
So I'm hoping Star Wars next. I mean, I'd hope
You're part of the Marvel family.
I'd hope more Marvel.
It's a Disney.
And
Yeah.
it's Disney, and
It's
they've got
the-
3 more Star Wars coming, and a series, and all sorts of stuff.
So Nick Choice Awards, I wanted to go. I could not get tickets because I worked for Marvel.
Oh, because it's
Nickelodeon?
Disney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait,
for the Kid Choice
Oh,
Awards.
for the Kids' Choice
Yeah,
Awards.
I wanted to go. I wanted to go and see because I'd never been, and I wanted to.
So
go. My
it's
friend
not
was
the
going.
kids' choices at all.
And yeah, I mean, I was a little kid too. I watched
That
I was
sucks.
Big Time Rush when I was little. I'd watch Big
course.
Time Rush.
Thank you.
Like, of course. And I mean, like I was a Nick fan. I loved SpongeBob, all that stuff. I was a big Nick fan, and they didn't get me tickets, so I had to go and get my publicist to find tickets somewhere. And so I actually sat in the back row, and then Robert Downey Jr. was there, and I texted him, "Hey man, I'm at the Kids' Choice Awards. I heard you're here." He's like, "Yeah." He sends bodyguards up, and he takes me down.
When was this?
Years ago. This was probably 2013 or 14.
I
You're probably there.
That's I only have I have a very small Robert Downey Jr. story, but it is from that night.
Oh.
Because it was the night that Big Time Rush was our first year at Kids' Choice Awards, I believe, and I was super nervous about going, and I dressed up all crazy, wore a big white suit, and dressed like
The other night.
Yeah, exactly, like that, except way crazier. I had
It inspired Russell Crowe to think about a comedy special.
Yeah, it really did. I had a watch, and the watch was literally just an LED screen that played footage from the first season of Big Time Rush.
no.
So I would just hold it up and just show people, like, oh, look, I'm on this show. This is the show I'm on. Like, it was awful. I was being funny, but I
Right.
wore a white, pinstripe suit.
Did you get slimed?
No.
Thank God.
Not that night.
Thank God, because that would have ruined that suit.
Well, the only good thing about the Kids' Choice Awards, not to slam Kids' Choice Awards, is being on stage for it, which is just enormous and scary, and there's so many freaking people.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. Oh, real nice. Thanks, buddy. Or being in the
Sounds
green
like I
room.
scared at a ghost on a movie
Yeah,
set.
yeah, come on. He was a child. I was backstage, Kids' Choice Awards. My mom and my sister were with me. We were hanging out, and I had a dream a couple weeks prior to going to the Kids' Choice Awards that I had met Robert Downey Jr. and I got to tell him how Chaplin was the movie that made me want to be an actor. And so, and I had this cool dream where I got to talk to him. It was really neat. And then I told my mom the story. So I'm sitting backstage at Kids' Choice Awards with my mom and my sister, and Robert Downey Jr. walks in the room.
Wow.
And Justin Bieber is performing on stage, and Robert Downey Jr. is watching him on the monitor. And my mom goes, "Didn't you have a dream about this?" And I was like, "I'm going to go talk to him." And I got up and I walked over
destiny.
to him, and I was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Robert Downey Jr., I had a dream."
You told him about the dream?
And I was like, "I had a dream that I got to meet you, and I got to tell you about Chaplin and how that movie changed my life, and it was my favorite thing in the whole world, and it made me want to be an actor and all this other stuff." And he was like, "Wow, that means so much to me. That movie was a huge part of my life." And then he just started talking, and I just stood there and talked to him. And it was fucking amazing.
He's one
And
of the best people in the world.
It was an incredible moment, right? 2 weeks later, Meltdown Comics, Sunset Boulevard. I'm walking up to Meltdown Comics, and there are 40 photographers in front of they're not inside. They're outside shooting pictures inside the place. And I was like, that's weird. I walk in, walk over to go look at comic books, and Robert Downey Jr. is standing there in the middle of Meltdown Comics reading Iron Man. And he's preparing for the second one. And I go, or second one or third one, and I go, "Excuse me, can I Robert Downey Jr. Hey," and he goes, "Dream guy." And I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "What's going on?" And I walked over to him, we started talking, and then a few months later, Big Time Rush was out, and my first time I was ever on TMZ ever was because they were
That's
like,
so
that's the
funny.
guy who was with Robert Downey Jr. and they showed the footage from the time of us standing together.
There's
and then
video.
There's video
see
footage
it.
of us standing
That's
next to
awesome.
each other, talking to each other in a comic book store. It is. It's the only time I've ever met him is those 2 times. But holy God, he's one of my favorite people in the whole world. So
He's one of the best people in the whole world.
yeah, super cool guy.
We text every once in a while. Like he has stayed in touch with me since 2012 when we filmed that movie.
That's really cool.
Unbelievable, and such an enormous talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that he might be nominated for an Oscar for Endgame.
he should be.
I think he should win best actor.
Yeah,
like,
it's
he deserves
like-
it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It's
If you
amazing
look at
work.
just the arc of that character from the beginning to now.
And the arc of him as a
Yeah.
person too.
Yeah.
like, and he was really like even though he went through some bad years.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at his IMDb, he never stopped working the whole
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
and doing good work and putting himself into like really interesting roles that were, bizarre and cool and interesting. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is
That's
a
what I was about to
badass
say, yeah.
movie.
I told my dad, he was like, "Is there another Sherlock Holmes coming out?" And I was like, "Yeah, it comes out in 2021." And my dad goes, "Well, he doesn't know anything about social media." And he goes, "Can you respond to that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Can you send them something saying I'm 83 fucking years old and I'm not going to make it to 2021?
jeez.
And I was like, "I'll do my best, Dad. It's on the internet now."
Oh my God. No. He's incredible. And I absolutely love that we got to sit down with you today and talk for reals about like great stuff and talk now that like people know that Endgame's out and stuff. We can talk about it. And I can't wait to see what you do next. I really hope we get to do Annie at some point.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll play Rooster.
Wonderful.
Call
Okay,
it.
where can people find you on the social media?
My Instagram is @Darth_Simpkins and my Twitter is @TySimpkinsActor.
Yeah, Darth Simpkins. I mean, this guy's got to be in Star Wars.
Yeah.
At least Mandalorian, for God's sake. At least.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, where can people find
Cameo
you?
in Mandalorian at least.
Yes, come
At
on.
the bare minimum.
A bare minimum. Mike, where can people find
at
you?
Mike Black Attack on all social media, and if you're a gamer, Humorous Black on there.
Oh, Humorous Black on where?
On PS4 and Xbox and all that.
Are you doing that? You doing the things?
I do whatever I want.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Are you twitching, Mike? Are you twitching?
I do the Twitches.
Not yet. I don't like it. I don't like twitching.
Can I ask you something about the Twitch? Is there any other? Is Twitch a verb that you can use? Can you say I twitch, or do you say twitching? I've been twitching. Can you say
Yeah.
I've twitched?
I would do it if you could just talk during the game. I don't like people looking at me while I'm playing the game.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Everyone wants to see your face. Well, maybe not your face, but everyone wants to see
A face.
I
face.
guarantee nobody wants to see your face either.
I know. All right, Matt, where can people find you?
You can find links to everything at funnymatt.com, or if you're one of the 4 losers, you can get in touch with me at mattwalkersucks.com.
You can always get me at Stephen Glickman on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast. Ty Simpkins, you are a bad motherfucker for
I am.
real. You really are. I mean, your Uber driver dropped you off.
Oh god.
Block away.
Yeah.
In the
And you
basically the
hiked-
highway.
Yeah, on the highway. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Of course. Thank you.